Hey guys, my name is Thomas, and today I'm going to show you how to fillet a whole salmon. So wild sockeye here, let's get to it. First off, some tips about holding your knife. You want to make sure you're holding the blade part of the knife, hold it pretty far forward like that. If you hold it too far back, you're not going to have as much control. It's going to result in messier looking fillets. First step is to take the collar off. You can kind of feel where the bone stops there. There's going to be a soft spot. You want to start with one upstroke towards the dorsal side, followed by one towards the fin, the belly side there. And then we are just going to flip the fish over. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side of the collar there. Just one clean upstroke like that, and another downstroke towards the belly side. And then just finish it off. Sometimes a little bit of skin at the top there, just cut that. Next, we are going to separate the bottom side of the fillet from the anal fin there. So just come in towards the back of the belly and do long strokes towards the tail. Usually it's going to take like a few passes. You want to make sure that you're right close to the bone until you get to the ridge in the middle. That's the backbone of the salmon. And then when you get to the ridge, just tilt the knife up. Then we are going to make another cut along the dorsal side. That's the top. I like to start right at the dorsal fin and just kind of score the skin at first and go deeper with each of my subsequent passes. Again, make sure you are on the bone but not going through it. You'll feel kind of like a clicking in your blade. Then go the other way towards the tail. I usually flip my knife around. I find it gives me a bit of a better angle that way, but that sort of thing is really just comfort. As long as you're starting at the dorsal side, working towards the middle and staying on the bones, you're going to be all good. Once you get to the backbone there, you can kind of poke through and just separate the back end of the tail there. And then we're going to come back up towards the head and break the pin bones that connect the larger skeleton of the salmon to the ribs. Just use the very tip of your knife in kind of like a flicking motion, and they'll break right through pretty soft. And then the other way towards the tail, do long passes to clear the fillet from the ribs of the fish. At this point, I like to start rolling the fillet back and just kind of peeling the side off. Be careful not to go through, or you could damage the side that's underneath it. And there we go. That is your first side off. Wipe your knife off and start on the other side. So it's a bit different from the first side here. We're not going to bother separating it from the bones. Just get that fin off for now, so you can use a really aggressive angle there. And once you get to the cutting board, there you go. Fin is separated. I'm going to make one quick cut just to break the skin at the bottom end of the tail there. And then we're back to the dorsal side like with before. Similar idea, long strokes. You can use a bit more of an aggressive angle here because you don't have to worry about the side underneath it. So you can really kind of like tilt the knife down, but it still is a bit of a pain if you break through the bones, so try not to. And we're gonna flip our fish over. This is another big difference from the first side. And we are going to actually go under the backbone like that and just push the knife forward gently just to separate the flesh from the bones there. We're not really trying to take the whole side off here, just get like a nook so that we can come in later, again starting from the collar, and make those same long passes along the fish. And you come in underneath and start separating the rest of the tail. Once that's done, we go like the first side just to break the pin bones and take the ribs off. And it's really just the same as the first one. You can start rolling the fish at this point and just peel it back. And there we go. That is the second side done. So it's really just a technique thing. Takes some practice to get them looking nice, but the steps are pretty simple. Here I'm just cleaning it up a little bit. You don't really have to do this part. That's all still good flesh, but it feels nice to make them nice and pretty. So I'm taking off a bit of the back, cleaning up the lines on the tail there. Make one sort of vertical cut along the tail just so that we don't have that little bit of extra skin there. And those extra pieces you can toss in like a stock or a soup or something like that. And there we go, 2 beautiful sides of wild sockeye salmon.